So today we're diving into a figure we all think we know, the goddess Sita. But what if I told you there's a hidden origin story, a secret history buried in a lesser-known text that might just change everything you thought you knew about her?
You know the story right. It's the one we all grew up with, and it's beautiful. A noble king is performing a sacred ritual, and he finds this divine child in a furrow of the earth. She's a gift from the land itself, a miraculous, earth-born princess. It's such a powerful image, isn't it? But it also kind of makes you wonder. And that one little question, well, that's what sends us down this incredible rabbit hole, toward a story that is so much more complex and maybe even more profound.
Okay, so before we get into the wild stuff, let's do a quick refresh on the traditional story. You know, the version from the Valmiki Ramayana that's been passed down for generations.
Right, so the sequence of events is pretty straightforward. You've got the good king Janaka, and he's preparing the land for a big holy ceremony. As he's tilling the soil with his golden plow, which is called a Sita, he strikes something, a casket. And inside, a baby girl. Because the plow, the Sita, revealed her, he names her Sita, simple, divine, and absolutely miraculous. And this origin, it's where so many of her famous names come from. She's Janaki because she's Janaka's daughter, Maithili, the princess of Mithila, and the really important one for our story today, Bhumija, the one born of the earth. Every name just reinforces the story we all know so well.
Okay, but this is where our investigation really begins. What if that beautiful story isn't the complete picture? What if Bhumija, born of the earth, means something a little different than what we've always been told?
I mean, it's the question that's been bugging people for ages, right? Rationalists, thinkers, even people of deep faith have wondered about it. How does a person literally appear out of the ground? It's a point where faith and logic kind of collide, and it turns out there's an ancient text that tackles this exact question head-on.
And here's the kicker. The key to this whole puzzle? It isn't in the famous Valmiki Ramayana we all know and love. No, it's tucked away in a parallel version, one that holds a truly shocking secret about who Sita's parents really were.
The Adbhuta Ramayana, which literally means the amazing or astonishing Ramayana. And trust me, the story it tells definitely lives up to the name.
So, this version is also said to be written by the great sage Valmiki, just like the famous one. But this one has some extra scenes, you could say. Some deleted chapters that contain this bombshell of an origin story you won't find anywhere else.
And this one line from the text just changes everything. It translates to born from a demoness's womb, then emerged from the earth. Whoa, this isn't just a metaphor. It's saying Sita had a biological mother, a Rakshasi, before she was found in that field.
So you're probably thinking, wait, a demoness? How? Well, buckle up, because the story actually kicks off with, believe it or not, Ravana himself. After some intense meditation, he gets a boon from the god Brahma. He can't get immortality, but he gets protection from pretty much everyone. But he adds this one very specific condition, that his own downfall would happen if he ever lusted after his own daughter. Yeah, talk about some serious foreshadowing, right?
And that foreshadowing leads us straight to Ravana's wife, Mandodari. Now, her story is where this all comes together. It's a tale about a holy sage, a sacred pot, and what she believes is a deadly poison.
So picture this. Way off in the forest, there's a sage, Krutsamata, who wants nothing more than to have a daughter. So he and his wife start this daily ritual. Every single day, they take one drop of milk, they chant sacred mantras over it, and they place it in a special pot as an offering to the goddess Mahalakshmi. Over years, that pot becomes infused with the very essence of the goddess herself. And then, who shows up? Ravana, of course. He's storming through the forest, being his usual terrible self, looking for something to hold the blood of the sages he's been terrorizing. And what does he find? You guessed it, he steals that sacred pot, having absolutely no idea what's really inside.
So Ravana gets home and hands this pot, now full of blood mixed with that sacred invoked milk, to Mandodari. He tells her it's more poisonous than poison and that she needs to guard it. But Mandodari, she is just heartbroken by her husband's cruelty. She can't stand his evil anymore, and in a moment of pure despair, she decides she can't take it anymore. She picks up the pot, believes it's the poison he said it was, and drinks it all, hoping to end her own life.
But it's not poison, not even close. It's the pure, divine essence of Mahalakshmi. So, instead of dying, Mandodari becomes pregnant. The divine child that the sage had been praying for all those years has now been conceived in the womb of the queen of the Rakshasas. And right here, this is the moment. This is where the two stories, the hidden one and the one we all know, are about to smash right into each other. So how does a baby born to Mandodari in Lanka end up in a field miles and miles away in Mithila?
Well, Mandodari is absolutely terrified. She knows what Ravana will do if he finds out she's pregnant, and he's been gone. So she travels in secret all the way to a faraway land. There, she gives birth to a beautiful baby girl. And to save her child's life from Ravana, she does the only thing she can think of. She places the baby in a casket, buries her in a field, and then returns home to Lanka, her secret safe. She protects her daughter by abandoning her.
So, do you see it now? Both stories are true. They're two sides of the same coin. She is Bhumija, the earthborn, not because she magically popped out of the dirt, but because the earth, Bhumi, was her protector, her foster mother, in a way, keeping her safe after her biological mother, Mandodari, buried her there. Both stories end exactly the same way, with the good King Janaka finding her in that field.
So when you know this dual heritage, it just changes how you see Sita, doesn't it? It adds this whole other layer to her character, to her incredible resilience, and especially to her inner strength. And think about this. It explains so much. Remember the story of Shiva's divine bow? As a little girl, Sita would just pick it up and clean it, casually. This was a bow that grown kings and warriors couldn't even move an inch. Her strength was always there. It was just an innate part of who she was.
And the Adbhuta Ramayana has this really beautiful line about it. It basically says that a woman who has this kind of divinity and inner purity isn't weak. Her dignity comes from not having to show off her strength. It's a choice, not a limitation. So I'll leave you with this to think about, knowing that Sita wasn't just found in the earth, but was born from this incredible cosmic drama, from a sage's prayer, a demon's curse, and a mother's desperate, heartbreaking sacrifice. Doesn't that make her life, her resilience, her entire story just so much more profound?